is the Dan Cofall Show, a place where liberty and freedom ring.
You know, Donald Trump was absolutely right when he said that politicians can be influenced by money and politicians can be bought. Here's the reason I say that is I have frequently, I would say, given the maximum contribution to different folks in the United States Congress, mostly in the House. And I had a congressman's chief of staff call up the other day and said, Dan, you really haven't, I haven't seen you at any of the events lately. You haven't made any contribution. And it was just pretty funny because I heard this and I said, well, and you're never going to get another dime from me anyway until this congressman, who is a big congressman, starts to get his act together and work Boehner out of the leader of the House. And he was a little surprised to hear this. He thought he was making a social call to me. And it felt really good having this discussion. And I told him, I said, the reason I talked about the money, I said, look, I was a contributor to your congressman for many years, and I never asked for anything. Now, I don't ask for any kind of favors at all, ever. Not even a trip to the White House, nothing. And I said, but this is important. And I think he understood that. But I don't think he got the message entirely. But I know I've called other congressmen during this break while John Boehner is on break. John Boehner should be sweating bullets right now, wondering how much opposition can be gathered during this August break for the House. So when I got an email the other day from J.D. Winteregg, who's been our guest before, Republican for Congress, and when I read that he has brought on Zachary Werrell, who in 2014 essentially engineered David Bratt's primary upset of Eric Cantor. I thought that was just tremendous. And the very fact that J.D. got him as the senior advisor to his campaign, that means to me that J.D. is very serious. When I saw that, I said, well, we've got to get J.D. back on and find out what the status is of the search for John Boehner's seat. J.D. had challenged John Boehner before in the last primary. Since that, he did not win, obviously did not win last time. He has built relationships with the Republican Party and continues to reach out to people in Southwest Ohio. Boehner is in the 8th District of Ohio, if I remember correctly. He's working very hard to build a base that he didn't have for the last election, and we're certainly doing what we can to help him do that. If there is one political action, one moment in time that has to be taken, and that is to remove John Boehner as the Speaker of the House, and to make sure that whoever takes that seat over is not even close to Boehner in style. Do that, and all of a sudden things in this country will change remarkably. J.D. is right at the intersection of this, and we need to be able to encourage him. So, J.D. Winteregg, very nice to have you, my friend. I love the fact that you've got Zachary on your team, so you must feel like you're ready to move forward, brother.
Yeah, definitely, Dan. Thanks for having me on again. Zach was a find. You know, we're normal people here in Southwest Ohio. I'm a normal guy running, and someone had just tipped me off on Facebook, said, you need to look into this guy who engineered the thing with Dave Bratt. So I got connected to him on social media. We started a conversation. We had a nice long talk and found out a lot of our beliefs aligned. But, you know, one thing about this guy, other than a gigantic W under his belt, he is passionate. This guy's on fire about restoring our country to the constitutional governance and getting rid of these so-called rhinos. So having someone that enthusiastic with such a big win is a huge help for our campaign, and we're really excited about moving forward.
Yeah, this must be, when you think about it, what a resume for this guy to have as far as an unconventional resume, that he knocked off Eric Cantor, that he knocked off John Boehner. My Lord, if you talk about a man whose value just increased exponentially, if I were Zachary Werrell, I would be doing the same thing. Hey, give me a shot. I think I can accomplish this. I think you two are going to make I think you two have a real chance to move Boehner out of not only his seat, but out of the Congress.
Right, I would agree. And, this kind of represents the new generation of leadership coming up. We've got things to prove. We've got, if you think about it, they're spending our money. So we've got a vested interest in making sure our voice is heard there. So we're more motivated than anyone could possibly imagine, and more excited than anyone could possibly imagine having teamed up.
Let me ask you this. What happens if John Boehner loses his seat come September when the House reconvenes? Will that change your plans on contesting Boehner for, as far as Speaker of the House, if he loses that? Will it change your desire to go out and beat him in a primary?
Not at all. I mean, he has to be removed. Fact of the matter is, he, as well liked as he is as a person, he has moved away from, why we put him in there. He caves on Cromnibus, raising the debt ceiling. He's pushing amnesty. He funded Obamacare. He funded Planned Parenthood. I mean, he is not a conservative. So to have him in that seat, to have him remain there, is still detrimental to our country. And I want to go in there and I want to join the conservatives in fighting the progressives and moving our country in the right direction.
Do you have any sense, and I'm not expecting you necessarily to comment on this, but let me see if you'd like to or not. Do you have any sense why the John Boehners and the Mitch McConnells and others in the Republican House and Senate promised to go right and then went left as soon as they were back in office? Is it blackmail? Is it money? Is it power? Is it influence? What in the world makes a man commit to do something for a party and then completely back up on it?
I couldn't. He's pretty wealthy. He purchased a condo over $800,000 on Marco Island. I mean, he set himself up for retirement, and I think making his life more comfortable seems to be a priority. That's what I would venture to say with him and Mitch McConnell and all those guys in power. And the thing they don't understand is that the world has changed dramatically since they first went in office. And with technology, with the information we have available, with people waking up, and you see it with the support of Donald Trump, with people waking up to the kind of rhetoric we're hearing and the reality we're seeing, their days are numbered.
I want to come back, JD, after this break, and I want to ask you how people like Trump, how people like Ted Cruz, how people that are new to the political scene, certainly not new to the conservatives or to the constitutionalist scene, they're just bringing tremendous revelations to the voters, how they're changing the House, how they're changing the Senate, and I would think it would work in your favor that these folks are around and bringing up topics, making it okay at the dinner table to talk about some of these topics. When we come back, right after this break, we will finish our discussion with J.D. Winteregg. You can go to J.D. Winteregg, WINTEREGG.com. And we're going to be talking about his desire to unseat our best bud, John Boehner. Stick around. We'll be right back on the Dan Cofall Show.